Well, good afternoon to everybody, and welcome to the next uh, Forums International webinar, this time in conjunction with our corporate partners, Ramilia. This is the 11th webinar in the series. This time the title is Sleeping Satellites, How Low Intrusion AI Plugins Can Revolutionize Your Cache Collection. And this session is going to be led by Matt Hill. Now, for those of you who don't know Forums International, I'd like to give you a little bit of background. The next slide up. Forums International started in 2015. In fact, we're just coming to the end of our financial year, end of June. But we have been running forums since 1991. In fact, our oldest forum started 28 years ago, and it's shortly going to be having its 160th meeting, and that's our Credit Professionals Forum, which we hold down in Bracknell. Now, our forums are for credit professionals to meet and discuss those key trading challenges. Of course, there are many. Share experiences, create, well, we always talk about creating best practice, but we like to say new and best practice. And most importantly, to discuss how to succeed in the future. Of course, there are many, many variables at the moment. Attendance is for credit and finance professionals of all levels, so it's not just for managers. And we only have pre-approved corporate partners. So our promise is to you, you will never intentionally be sold to when you attend a forum. So just a little bit of an idea of what's coming up. This is our portfolio of 10 forums. Our newest is the one at the bottom, the Fraud Prevention Network, which was launched on the 16th of May. The oldest is the one at the top, the Credit Professionals Forum, which meets next on the 9th of July. So I thought we'd put some dates in there and give you a little idea of when they're coming up. So if you are interested in any of those at all, please let us know. It's free to attend any of these meetings for the first time round. We look forward to seeing you. I mentioned corporate partners earlier. We have a lot of corporate partners, and we're very, very proud of this slide and the people that are on it. Also very, very proud that we became a CISM corporate partner in January this year. So thank you very much to all our corporate partners for their ongoing support. So why are we different? Now, our agendas are decided by the members, so it should be relevant and topical. They're not lecture-based. We like interactive workshops and discussions. The sessions, we try where possible to get them onto a 50-50 basis, where 50% is led by the subject matter expert, and the other 50% is where the attendees can share their experiences. Now, if you put those two things together, we believe that that is actually gold dust. Forums do provide opportunities for attendees to discuss key trading issues in their specific industries, and also see how people from other industries can come up with ideas and solutions, to share experiences and challenges, and also to discuss how they have secured success. So hopefully we're finding a nice balance on both sides. Now, our objectives are that the forums are there for our members, attendees to network with their peers, gain new tools and techniques, increase and enhance personal skill levels, gather information and intelligence where applicable, develop those new and best practices, and improve a team's productivity and results. Not an inclusive list. The list can go on, but certainly we are looking for you to be able to take things back to the office and implement them. Return on investment these days is a well-known phrase, and to give you a little idea on this, We pre-plan our meetings a year in advance, so and they will be announced early September for 2020, so you can get them in your diaries. We have LinkedIn and Facebook groups across all our forums for sharing information. And in fact, we're trying to step that up a little bit, so keep an eye out for those if you use LinkedIn. We have a website with a secure members area, which includes an archive of all past presentations, workshops, and information. We've got another gold mine. We have a knowledge hub where members can ask each other questions on a 24/7 basis. And you can gain CPD points hours, can be earned at all of our forums, and also from being part of this webinar. We are supported by pre-approved and contracted major corporate partners, as you saw earlier. And you would have access to industry subject matter experts. Now, we believe our forums are affordable. They work on an annual membership basis, and dare I say, cheaper than training. Just a few examples of some of the things we've covered recently, and this is not an exhaustive list by any means, but everything from cash flow forecasting to training to cryptocurrencies to change, leasing, and of course the thing that's not been listed on there is Brexit. We have spent many hours talking about Brexit. So what's coming up in 2019? We've already held our one-day credit card forum, which was a great success. We're expanding our ICT forum, so Information Communications Technology and Electronics Credit Forum in the UK and across Europe. The Pharmaceutical Forum is being extended, so not just for wholesalers, but it'll be wholesalers and manufacturers. We'll be holding the second Amazon Suppliers Forum. We're going to call it Amazon The Return. And also we're actually going to be doing a retail day. Also, we're doing a lot of roundtables, workshops and webinars with the CICM, so all of these will be announced shortly. A very important thing we've added this year is you can now attend our meetings virtually, a bit like a webinar, except we can hear you, you can hear us, and you can see the slides. And this has helped a lot for those who are not based in the country or based a long way from where the meetings are held. So in summary, everybody is time poor, and we understand that. Taking time out of the office can be seen as a luxury. We hope that we are providing the benefit and the information which makes it a necessity to come to our forums. They're not just meetings, but communities, so it's not just meetings 3 or 4 times a year. It is a vehicle to learn new skills, address business challenges, develop those new and best practices, and network and share experiences with your peers. They are subscription based, but you can come along, have a look. It's free first time round. Meet the members, see for yourself before you make any commitment to join. So I'd now like to hand over to Matt Hill, who's now going to take you through sleeping satellites. Over to you, Matt.
Thanks, Laurie, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedules, I'm sure, to attend this webinar. What I'm hoping to give you here from my point of view is some food for thought, really, around whether a cash allocation credit management solution using the power of artificial intelligence is an appropriate solution for your businesses and your finance back office, as opposed to potentially a ERP-driven solution. My background is 15 years in project management and solution design in the finance arena. I've spent the last 6 years working with Remilia on their solutions and how they can be embedded within varying organisations in various verticals. So just to talk you through the agenda of today's session. So we'll just cover off an introduction into Rimilia as a partner of Forums International. I'll then start to talk around artificial intelligence using some of the insights gleaned around the business, including our partnership with Aston University and their data scientists. We'll then talk a little bit around artificial intelligence and robotic process automation and how the two have synergies but also differences. Then around your ERP and accounts receivable, satellites, third party and artificial intelligence, and finally summarise and pass out for any questions that you may have. So just a short slide on Rimilia. Founded in 2008, we are a complete finance receivables organisation embedding technology in the credit management and cash allocation space. That technology runs off a series of different algorithms, but it includes robotic process automation as well as artificial intelligence solutions in the background. So not only mirroring what users will be doing manually now, but also predicting what's going to happen in the future with your debtors before payments are due or invoices are overdue. So we partner with a range of different companies here at Rimilia, but one of those is Aston University, and we're part of the Innovate UK and KTP Knowledge Transfer Programme. As part of that, we've injected 10 million of funding into the artificial intelligence engine within the solutions, and we work closely with the data science department, as I referred to earlier, in understanding how customers pay, what drives that customer payment, how to inject into that customer payment so that we can predict what's going to happen in terms of cash flow. So Dr. Ali Yapsi, who is our head of artificial intelligence and leads the AI team at Aston University, defines artificial intelligence, as you can see on screen there. So it's a collection of technologies that include machine learning, robotic automation, and advanced data analytics. So it's the ability to pull in information from various different sources, to analyse that information, and then to either predict for future activities, or indeed to reflect what's going on in the here and now. So we tend to think of RPA and artificial intelligence split into two areas. On the left-hand side here, we can talk about robotic process automation, or RPA, which is all about doing things. It's all about automating well-defined high-volume tasks. It needs retraining for new tasks, handles predefined inputs, and it's an established technology. And what we're seeing out in the ERP space is a lot of solutions that they are offering in the cash allocation and credit management space is very heavily RPA driven. It's about understanding what users have done historically and then mirroring that in payments behaviour as they start hitting through the various bank files. RPA is absolutely part of artificial intelligence, but from our point of view and from an AI point of view, it's about thinking and learning. It's about being able to process complex and novel data. It learns and improves organically from the experiences that are fed into it. Unlocks hidden insights. And it's cutting edge technology. So the right-hand column there is around predictability. So it's about looking forward and looking down the road and understanding what is coming and what's around corners, as opposed to RPA, which tends to be more retrospective. It's about understanding what has happened and what then might happen, as opposed to being able to forecast that forward. So this simple diagram, I think, captures artificial intelligence and RPA well. So RPA is all around the workhorse. It's around the arms, the fingers, the hands, and the human body, and understanding what they're doing, why they've done it, so that that can be repeated. Artificial intelligence is all around the mind, it's all around the brain, it's all around understanding what those manual processes are doing and understanding how that can be used moving forward to predict and to analyse what's going to happen in the future. You couple that then with specialised business expertise within your own organisations, so bringing RPA, artificial intelligence and the power of the human individual into one seat. And what you get then is what we know as full stack intelligent finance automation. So it's bringing that information from the rear view mirror, as well as from the front windscreen, as well as from the individual persona, to put that together into something that's going to truly revolutionise how you process payments. So we're going to move now on to ERP, or third-party artificial intelligence. So of course these slides will be made available for you to digest, but this particular slide is a piece of work undertaken by the Hackett Group, and it shows where organisations are focusing their resources and their time in various areas of the finance process. So in the blue segments that you can see there, that's the ERP solutions. So that's your meat and drink, that's the things that your SAPs and your Oracles will be doing within the solution itself. The pink solution that you can see after the blue bar is around the best of breed. So that is where, in our view, the satellite systems that are sit outside of the ERP but can interface easily and quickly sit because they are able to target specialised areas, bring in specialised pieces of information and use specialised algorithms and rules in order to drive activity. You've then got the custom applications. So that's the data sources that are sitting in those satellites. That's the algorithms that I referred to. That's injecting the robotic process automation. And then you've got the blue piece on the end there, which is showing that RPA insight. And then on the left there, you have the various areas that the Hackett Group were investigating. And the ones that we've boxed off there are things where we think, from a Rimilia point of view, the solutions that can be offered from a finance process and cash allocations, credit management, where we sit. So the decision to migrate to an ERP or to turn on additional functionality ERP is obviously a big one for any organisation. There's plenty of case studies out there in the world where people have chosen an ERP and the expense that they go to in order to integrate those into various areas of their business. Again, from our experience, they are indeed multifaceted, so they are arguably the jack of all trades. It's a committed single platform that will work for your business and will process things as it should. It has a local footprint with a global reach, so it will be typically stored on a data center somewhere. A lot of ERPs, however, now are moving to the cloud, and we understand that. And then can go out to various countries, various areas of your different businesses to bring that all into that platform. It's fully integrated to wider business process, so that sits outside of finance to bring everything together into the solution and to do that interaction. And again, from our experience, it's very heavily underpinned by robotic process automation, so understanding what has happened. On the other side of the equation are the third-party artificial intelligence satellites. So this is where you have specialised software which is focused on specialised business expertise, whether that be in the cash allocation or credit management area. It's software and a service. It's the ability to implement the software, but also understand the processes that sit behind that software, specifically in the cash allocation and credit management area, and to redefine and re-engineer those processes to get the most out of the applications that you're investing in, with cash and credit management in mind. It's an out-of-the-box installation, so it's low intrusive on the core systems, and I can't emphasise that point enough. One of the big considerations when CTOs or finance directors are making these decisions is what's going to be the challenge? Why would this project be a success? How is this going to interface with this big system that I've chosen to invest millions of pounds in typically? What impact is that going to have? Well, what I can say is that these third-party artificial intelligence satellites typically have plugins that can be used with the different ERPs, and are typically very low-level intrusiveness on those core systems, putting out information either through APIs or batch process to feed those satellites. It's the latest technology, and therefore you get rapid updates. So the Azure cloud systems and the ability to update satellite systems at the flick of a switch rather than having to go through long UAT and sys-test processes, assessing various areas of ERPs that you may have installed and the effect that that's going to have on processes on teams outside of the finance area. That can often have challenges. Whereas if the solution is sat outside of the ERP and has the ability to then use those interfaces that I spoke about a moment ago, you can update the software and cash allocation or credit management without impacting on the core system. And it's not just robotic process automation, it's artificial intelligence. It's got that machine learning, which will drive out the artificial intelligence. You've got advanced data analytics and turning data from knowledge to wisdom. So consolidating various different data sources that might sit within your business, might sit outside of your business, bringing that all into a central platform to then convert and turn into knowledge of what's going to happen. But then more importantly, through artificial intelligence, that wisdom to predict what a particular customer is going to do in 2, 3, 4, 6 weeks later down the track, and being able to amend your process in order to reflect that wisdom. Just to give you a flavour for how a third-party satellite might interact with your ERP. You can see there in the middle of bullet 2, that's any ERP. We've listed some of the main ones on the left, but of course that can go much wider. Typically what will happen is that the satellite will take in a feed which will come from the ERP and list, for example, the customers or the open invoices that might be sat within the sales ledger. It can then bring in additional data sources in terms of bank payment files maybe, or remittance data that customers may have provided. And again, I extend that out to any other third-party information that you may want to consolidate within the platform. That comes into the artificial intelligence solution that you can see on the right-hand side, which will do varying different activities. So in the cash allocation side, that may be an auto match of the payment, including complex scenarios, so not straight invoice matching. That can include write-offs, part payments, discounting, withholding taxes, all of the scenarios that businesses can typically face depending on their own footprint. It's going to drive out exception handling, but again, that's going to be predicted through artificial intelligence or indeed robot process automation to provide the user with the quickest route to make a decision. It's going to allow you to clear down whether that be cash allocation or credit queries quickly. And it's then going to pass information back into the core system, so back into the ERP, so that can be reflected within your own organisation and feed out through dashboards or whatever that might be, so that can be communicated up, down and across the organisation. So ERP, typically, in our experience, is robotic process automation only. So it's not the latest technology. And if you think about it, RPA has been out there for many years. Arguably, RPA could be a car plant. We're based in Birmingham. So up at Longbridge, the ability to automate machine workers who are working on car production lines over at the Rover factory. Arguably, as robots came in there, that was a form of RPA, which is now hitting and has hit the finance back office. it automates the work, but it doesn't empower the workforce. And there's a lot of press out there at the moment around RPA and artificial intelligence replacing people. We see things slightly differently. We see it as empowering people and allowing them to free up their time to go and do more value-add activity within the organisation. So it is actually enhancing their working day rather than replacing them within the team. The age-old question: ERP, is it the jack of all trades and the master of none? In our view, it is. The ERP should be there to do what it's very, very good at and consolidate all the various functions within a business. But there is the opportunity to outsource areas such as cash allocation and credit management into cloud-based solutions as satellites. ERP is typically static and it needs retraining for new tasks. So as new scenarios develop and as changes occur within your business, which they often do, the ability to update and to change the way that works varies from ERP to ERP, but it's certainly much, much easier within third-party satellites for the reasons I alluded to earlier. Moving over to the right-hand column in terms of artificial intelligence. So it's the latest technology. It's always learning and always changing, always reflecting what your business is doing, always reflecting how your customers are behaving. It's empowering the workforce through driving that wisdom, so presenting the information to the user to make a quick and easy decision, rather than them having to move from system to system or indeed do things manually, completely through spreadsheets or what have you. That's all built into the systems. It's specialised and it's focused on business expertise within the accounts receivable areas. So it's not just written as a one-stop shop. It's driven by consultants and subject matter experts who sit behind the logic, sit behind the rules, who are analysing what's going on so that the system can best reflect your business process. And it works in harmony with your ERP. Again, we're not there to replace the good work that the ERP is doing. We're there to interface with it to allow it to carry on with the bulk of the activity, and then outsource to the satellites, in this case, cash allocation and credit management piece. And it's intelligent, it's not process driven. So it's looking down the road as to what's coming, as opposed to reflecting what's already happened. So I'd like to open up the call now to any questions that might be out there. I hope you found the session of use, and again, thank Laurie and the team for inviting us to do this webinar. But if there are any questions, I'd happily open up the lines.
Well, we do have a couple, so I'll kick them off. Anyway, thanks so much indeed, Matt. That was a really interesting session. So, first question: How easy is it to implement? Does it need a lot of IT support?
Okay, so it's a great question, and it's one that we get asked all the time. And I alluded to in the presentation around transports and the ability to interface. It's very, very light touch. It's low intrusivity for a reason. Typically, in my experience, systems can be alive within 6 to 8 weeks of a project kicking off, and that includes elements of UAT testing. From a Rimilia point of view, there's probably 140, 150 customers globally now who use the solution, and all of them are referenceable and would be happy to talk around their experiences. But it's very light touch. Intentionally, they are designed to require as minimal as possible IT support from the customer. So yeah, it's very, very easy. So hopefully that answers that question, Laurie.
Okay, next question. I'm not quite sure how you want to handle this, but what companies in the UK are using this? Is that an easy question to answer or not?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I don't want to divulge names, but safe to say it's a wide breadth of organisations in different tiers. both in the UK and globally. So we have elements of shared service centres in there. Shared service centres are absolutely feeling massive benefit here, and the ability to pull in information from various ERPs into a single platform rather than to train different users in different platforms. It becomes a value add back to that employee. So we've got shared service centres. We have global brands that people will have heard of, as well as kind of smaller organisations who have a problem in cash allocation and are looking to scale and use it as a tool to scale their business and bring in more volume through acquisition or growth. So yeah, there's varying different organisations, and I'd like to think we cater for all types of business, whether that be asset-based lending or waste disposal or recruitment. We can cover all courses.
Okay, I think that was it. Actually, I can't see any other questions onto it. Just to say that this webinar has been recorded, and so we will be making it available, I'm sure, onto the Forums International website and presumably onto the Remilia website as well, probably in the next couple of days. So, so I'd like to thank everybody for joining the webinar, and thank very much Matt for a very, very interesting session. So all the best, and hopefully you'll join us for the next webinar, which is now going to be not until September. So, okay, all the best. Bye.